What's up, everyone? John Rettinger from Techno here with an unboxing of the dual-screen Sony Tablet P. This is a device I had a chance to first take a look at about 6 months ago at IFA in Berlin. I was pretty impressed with it back then, but the tablet world has changed quite a bit since then. Ice cream sandwich is no longer my favorite dessert, and Tegra 2 now has an older brother in the form of quad-core Tegra 3. So let's see if there's still a place in the market for this very unique-looking tablet. Let's go ahead and dig in. Alright, so this is going to be available on March 4th for $399 on a 2-year contract with AT&T, or $549 if you just want to buy the sucker outright. It is a 4G capable device, but that is HSPA Plus flavored, no LTE on board here. So it's in a very phone-esque box, Sony Tablet P. Picture the device. We got some specs and features on there, but we're going to run through all that anyway. Let's go ahead and dig in. Think of this as like a 3DS made into a tablet. And you can sort of get a sense of what this guy looks and feels like. All right, so quick start guide. You know the joke I'm going to make for getting started quickly. So there's that. Go ahead and pull that out. Here is the Sony Tablet P wrapped nicely in plastic. Go ahead and pull it out. Of course, we'll run through all the specs. It's much smaller than you'd expect from a tablet. Very thin and could fit in your pocket. Go ahead and see what that looks like next to my hand. So I'll put that on the side for just a moment. Here is the 3080 milliamp hour battery. Going to be good for about 7 hours of tablet-y action. We'll put that in just a second. Let's see what else we're going to get in the Sony Tablet P box. Got a power brick, and it certainly is a power brick with a proprietary little pin connector there. And then, of course, the cable that connects to said power brick. And then some important information. We'll see how important that is. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the Sony Tablet P. We got some plastic on it, so I shall remove said plastic. I'll boot it up, and we can run through the specs of this guy. Plastic's harder to remove than I thought. Haha! No plastic is a match for my prying fingers. Go ahead and peel off the rest of this, and we'll see what we got. This is actually one of my most pleasant surprises from IFA. Aside from that giant 75-inch Samsung TV, I really liked getting a chance to play with the Sony Tablet P. So, boom. That's a Sony Tablet P. One giant screen, a little bit of a gap in the middle. We'll talk about that in just a second. Some cameras. Let's go ahead and pop in the battery, which lives on the side somewhere. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll be back in just a minute. All right, so the back of the Sony Tablet P is off. It does come with a micro SD card, which is going to be of size 2 gigs. So there you go. Removable battery, so let's go ahead and pop that in. 3080 milliamp hours. I'll go ahead and do that. It is nice that it's removable. Put the back on, and we will power this sucker up. Snap into place. Pretty easy. Now let's see if we can find a power button. It lives right there. Open it up, and I'll run through the specs, because there's a lot crammed into this. All right, so this will boot up, and let me tell you what the Tablet P, the Tablet C is and does. Okay, so we are looking at Android 3.2 Honeycomb. So, ice cream sandwich world, Honeycomb tablet. We haven't heard whether or not ice cream sandwich will be coming to this. Presumably, though, it will be. So close, I'm not going to close it while it's booting up. Your measurements are 3.11 inches by 7.8 inches by 1.02 inches. And opened, as we're looking at it right now, 6.22 inches by 7.08 inches by 0.54 inches. And you can see that right there. It weighs 13.1 ounces. So it's made of 2 displays, and they're both 5.5-inch displays with a resolution of 1024 by 480. And of course, well, there are 2 of them. Battery, as I mentioned, is 3080 milliamp hours, so it's going to give you about 7 hours of tablet-y time. Being powered by NVIDIA's Tegra 2 dual-core processor, so that's 1 gigahertz on each core. 1 gig of RAM, 4 gigs of internal storage, but obviously expandable with micro SD. In this case, we had 2 gigs in there, so 6 total. Cameras. It has cameras. We are looking at a 0.3 megapixel shooter on the front, and on the back is where the action happens. That's where the 5 megapixel shooter is going to live. It's like the mullet of tablets. It's got business in the front, and then it's got the party camera in the back. So it's got two of those, AT&T's HSPA Plus network, no LTE here, Bluetooth 2.1, and PlayStation certified. All right, let's get started. We'll set up Wi-Fi later. So I want to walk you through the tablet and the rest of the device. Go next. I don't want to do this now. Next. Next. Congratulations. Yay for me. So it's going to look relatively standard gingerbread with some Sony tweaks on it. All right, so let's go ahead and walk through the tablet. Go and close it up. Boom. Let's see what we got. So living on the left-hand side, we don't really have anything. All the action happens, boom, right there on the right. So there's the power button. That's where your power plug is going to be. If you want to sync this guy, underneath this hard-to-open door, is where your micro USB cable is going to live. Push that door back down. Volume rockers up and down. On the back, that's where those hinges are. You can see they protrude just a little bit, and then nothing there. The back is made of plastic, but it does have sort of a metallic feel to it. The top is plastic as well. AT&T branding, and then you've got that Sony PlayStation certified branding, meaning you can get your Crash Bandicoot on. Go ahead and open it up, and there are those two 5.5-inch screens. So the big question for me was that gap in the middle. How's that going to feel as you scroll over? And as you go ahead and sort of do your scrolling, you don't really notice it all that much. Let's go ahead and open up. Let's go to apps. Somewhere where I can sort of scroll, and you can see what that looks like as I sort of move up. So watch that messaging icon right there as I scroll up. And you can see it sort of just ignores that whole gap and jumps right over it. You feel it as your finger goes over it, but it's not that bad. We'll see how it goes, though, when I'm reading a lot of websites, reading a lot of text. That might be one instance where you certainly notice it. And again, that sort of PlayStation certified aspect would be kind of fun for gaming. So certainly imagine using this as an e-reader. Turn it sideways, and you can go ahead and read like you would a standard book. Let's go ahead and take a look at the apps that are going to come pre-installed on this guy. So you got the default AT&T ones, browser, Foursquare, Crash Bandicoot. Told you. Sony loves including that sort of a sample for their PlayStation certified business. We've got the Curiosity, the Music Unlimited store, and that's about it. It looks to be relatively bloatware free, which is certainly nice of AT&T and Sony to do that. So this has been a first look and unboxing at the Sony Tablet P. I'm kind of excited to dig in, take a look at this guy, and see if it's going to be worth your tablet money. Certainly a very crowded tablet market space right now as different companies are competing for that dollar. So leave your comments down below. Let me know what you think. I'm John Rettinger from Techno Buffalo. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.